Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new week and a brand new month, that is. And welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Le Champions, where we talk about the different storylines, the different characters, and the different controversies that surround this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I'm your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor, because I'm one smart motherfucker in the flesh as always. And he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is tag team partner Jonathan Randall at your guys' service. The life of the party is here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in action. We've been gone for a while, but hey, we're back to give you the news of this soap opera that we love to call professional wrestling. You could follow us. Please follow us on social media. Our podcast episodes is available on Spotify, Speaker, and on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at champs.clash and on Twitter at the Champs Clash, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt, how you been?
Been pretty good, bro. Just been watching these NBA playoffs and gearing up for Backlash this weekend and also Cinco de Mayo this weekend as well. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. I'm actually liking the vibe that May is bringing so far, even though it's only the first day.
I know you're pretty happy right now. I know the Knicks lost last night, but hey, they're one game away from advancing, and I'm actually happy for you guys with this push that you guys are getting in the playoffs, man. Like this is kind of like a resurgence of the New York Knicks, how it was back in the day.
Yeah, it's nice to see them getting the amount of attention that they've been getting and also playing as consistently well as they've been playing. But I'm not going to lie, that loss last night really pissed me off.
Damn.
They were up 6 points with 30 seconds left to go. And then Philly ends up tying it. And then in overtime, it just all fell apart and Philly just got away with it and won.
Damn. The game was on the road, right? On Philly, right?
It was in New York. It was in the Garden.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm so pissed off. They haven't closed out a playoff series at the Garden since, I believe, 1999. Yes, 1999 when they beat the Pacers in the conference finals.
5 years ago. 25 years. Holy crap, man. Well, regardless, I mean, if it's in the Garden or it's on the road, you know what I mean? Let's hope they get it done. I'm kind of like in a disheartening move because my Lakers, got eliminated by the Nuggets, and it's a bit of annoying, but there's just a lot of changes that they need to be making later down the road. And honestly, I'm just going to sit back and see what they're going to do. But, less about that. Man, we have it's been, because we didn't do our show last week, right? But so much has been going on. One of the things that really just intrigued me, we had the NFL draft this past weekend. And of course, you guys know that Tony Khan is, yes, he is, the leader. He is the promoter for AEW. But also he has a share. He is the part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So before, about a couple of days or a few days before the NFL draft, Tony Khan was in a segment with Jack Perry and pretty much got beat up.
So Jack Perry made his return at AEW Dynasty a couple weeks ago since we last spoke to you guys. And now he's officially a part of the Elite with the Young Bucks. Kind of makes sense with all their issues with Punk and all the stuff they've been playing off about, like the whole incident at Wembley Stadium lately. So yeah, now he's a part of the Elite. And they had a segment at the end of Dynamite last week where Jack Perry called out Tony Khan, like to kind of bury the hatchet because of what happened at Wembley Stadium. And he acted like as if he was hugging him. And then as he was hugging him, he punched him in the gut. And no lie, Tony Khan's sell of that punch to the gut was 10 times worse than Vince's sell was of the stunner back at the Garden back in 97.
Oh, my God.
He made Vince McMahon in that segment look like Mr. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the Young Bucks did the Meltzer driver to him afterwards, and like they all stood over him, and everyone was trying to compare this to like when the NWO first formed and when the NWO attacked Eric Bischoff at Great American Bash 96, and I just saw this whole thing, and I couldn't help but just shake my head. Like I wasn't mad at it. I also wasn't entertained by it. I was just like looking at this on my screen, and I just said to myself, what the fuck happened to AEW, bro? What the fuck happened to that place?
Well, I mean, if you thought that was bad, it got worse, that following weekend.
It did get worse.
Yeah. So Tony Khan, as I said earlier, he is the owner, part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and yes, it was an NFL draft that weekend from Friday through Sunday. No, Thursday. Sorry, Thursday through Saturday. Sorry. So apparently, every team has their owners, GM. They're in their war room, making the decisions on what players they're going to draft. Right. So there's a video of Tony Khan being there present, right? And he's still in his neck brace. He is selling the injury on what happened. So when I first saw that, I thought it was okay. I laughed. I thought it was kind of funny though. At the same time, he wants to make it believable because he doesn't want to seem like he just got assaulted by Jack Perry not too long ago, and then now you know what I mean. So I kind of get the meaning behind it in a way, but it was kind of funny and stupid at the same time. Yeah, it was. Hey, you had to laugh at it. You had to laugh at it.
He was giving me vibes straight up with that neck brace of Andy Kaufman after Jerry Lawler pile drove him in 1982. Like when they were on David Letterman and all that shit. Yeah, that's the exact vibe I got from Tony Khan.
I feel you. But you had to laugh at it, though. You just kind of like, wow.
Yeah, I'll give him credit.
He's really selling this.
Yeah, I'll give him credit. He's selling it. I don't think that whole shit was necessary in the first place, but whatever. He's still at least committing to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's when things get weird again. So he had an interview, I believe it was like the next day. And yeah, he's talking about AEW and all that stuff. But as typical Tony Khan fashion, he decides to turn his energy onto WWE once again. Kurt, give us the details, please.
So he's basically talking about how they're up against this evil corporation known as WWE. They're like the big bully in town and always fucking with them, always trying to bring them down. And then in the money line of the whole interview, Tony Khan goes on to say that WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling.
What a bad take.
This is what this dude said. In an interview on national television. He's the owner of AEW, part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is what he said in an interview with a fucking neck brace on.
Just embarrassing, man. Like, you cannot keep them out of your mouth to save his own life, man. Like, it's just, again, it's that stuff where it's the rent-free talk, you know what I mean? But you know what? You know what's funny about that? When you're talking about somebody else, you're pretty much making WWE is looking at this like, oh, thank you for making us known. Pretty much, that's how they're taking it. Like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you for letting us be known.
I think WWE is looking at this situation, just saying, yo, thanks for the extra publicity. We didn't even ask for it, but it was much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Thank you. That's pretty much. Rent free, man. This dude doesn't know how to stay in his lane. This guy doesn't know how to be like a true boss. Didn't know how to put his foot down, right? With the whole, CM Punk and Jack Perry situation, right? Come on, man. So bothered by anybody else and doesn't know how to fix the problems within himself, within his own company. With all the other stuff that they got going on, even before all this, with the not necessarily the ratings though, but mostly with attendance, with fan attendance. You know what I mean? It's just, come on, man. Like, it's embarrassing. That's the one word I only have to say about it to describe everything that had just gone down over the past few days. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't get why he constantly has to keep bringing them up and constantly just making himself look like such a poor leader. Every time he speaks and every time you just see him behave publicly the way he does, you just say to yourself, like, how can I take this dude seriously as a boss and as a leader and somebody who's like lead I would want to follow? It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, this is the classic syndrome of being obsessed with your ex-girlfriend or obsessed with like the girl you never had.
Oh, yeah.
And constantly taking shots at them.
Good comparison. Can't get over it. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, though. Like, this dude never worked for WWE. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, granted, as a wrestling fan like us, like, look, we're happy that there is another wrestling outlet. I mean, I've been wanting this. We all been wanting this for years, even though like TNA wasn't around though, but it wasn't the same. But we always wanted another wrestling outlet that could kind of like push WWE just a little bit. You know what I mean? But when you see stuff like this, it's like, come on, man, it's embarrassing. It's just like, this is not the first time this has happened. As you pointed out, this has happened multiple times, and I've lost count of how many times this has happened.
It all started, like, for this most recent run of embarrassing moments, when CM Punk did that interview the week of WrestleMania where he basically clowned AEW and the way it's ran, and clowned Tony Khan as a boss and called him, yeah, a nice guy, but not a real boss. Like, all that shit he was saying about AEW clearly got under his skin. And ever since then, we've been just seeing him, like, ravel right before our eyes. And it's sad. From airing that footage of Punk and Jack Perry during Dynamite to now making himself a character on the show where he got brutally attacked, to those comments he made about comparing WWE to Harvey Weinstein. Yo, this dude is losing it. This dude has the thinnest skin I've probably ever seen in any like personality of someone who like runs a company I've ever seen. Like, Damon Dash is bad in his way of, like, you know, communicating and just like losing his temper all the time. But Tony Khan is just bad with like getting butthurt and getting super sensitive about every little thing from WWE or any little thing that somebody says bad about AEW. He just can't handle it. It is clear from his behavior and what we're seeing now that he just can't handle it. And it's getting under his skin, and it is fucking up the product.
Thank you. I don't know who's worse, him or Kevin Durant.
Oh God, that's another story for another time. Or Drake.
Yeah,
there's another one, Drake, for that matter too.
Oh, but I mean, you know what? When it comes to AEW, I think when it comes to the lighter side of the story of the company, seeing Swerve Strickland, you know, become the AEW champion was like a good thing for them.
Yes, that did happen at Dynasty a week and a half ago since we last spoke to you guys. Swerve Strickland did defeat Samoa Joe to become the first ever Black AEW champion, and I am very happy that he finally got to have that moment.
Very. Round of applause. Very happy for him, man. Very. During his press conference after the match, he not dedicated, but he saw just inspiration from the Kofi Kingston title win from WrestleMania 35.
That's a good place to get inspiration from. He knows what's up.
Yeah. But just history making, man. Just, you know what? Not just for him, but when I really think about this moment, Kurt, I think about in this generation of wrestling, we're seeing a lot of change in the transition of how things are going. Like, we're seeing a lot of Black wrestlers really getting pushed now, man. A lot. Swerve Strickland just became the AEW champion, and then like literally like not too long afterwards, you'll see Trick Williams. He becomes the NXT champion. We're seeing a lot of Black wrestlers are really up on the rise now, and I'm damn proud to see that.
It's been happening for a few years now, honestly.
It's been happening for a few years though, but like as this time, I think like this year and then last year included, over the past couple of years, it's really just been hitting a very high mark now.
I feel like ever since New Day had the success that they did, it really opened the doors up for a lot of like what we're seeing now with the Black wrestlers, from Kofi eventually having that title run, Becky having a title run, Bobby Lashley having a title run, now Swerve Strickland, and even the women with Bianca Belair having that longest title reign that she had last year of any woman in the history of the company, or in modern times at least. And her and Jade Cargill are more than likely going to win the tag titles this weekend, which we'll get into later. So yeah, it is a very good time for Black wrestlers in wrestling, whether you're in WWE, whether you're in AEW, even TNA. Naomi was the Knockouts champion before she left. She was doing well over there too. Yeah, the Black wrestlers have been getting a lot of much deserved shine in recent years, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm really damn proud to be seeing this, and to just it's like I said, it's a transition, man. It's a change, and change is a good thing sometimes. So
yeah, and I think just in general, there's a lot more diversity in wrestling now compared to when we were kids.
Yeah. Look at Damian Priest. That's the first time we had a Puerto Rican world champion in 50 years, dude. Wow.
Yeah, and looking back, like when we were kids, like a lot of like the wrestlers who were black or the wrestlers who were from another country, they were like given some like negative, like stereotypical bullshit gimmick to play. And yeah, you wouldn't really take them
Yeah.
seriously. You wouldn't really expect them to go far. But nowadays, in modern times, it feels like everybody has an even playing field and they're not being made out to be a joke like they once were before in certain cases,
Thank you.
like Akeem the African Dream.
Stop. Stop it. Oh, your favorite wrestler.
But you know what I mean. But you know what I mean? Like back then, like back
Yeah,
then, like if Asuka were around in the '80s, they would have her play like some stereotypical Japanese woman. Yeah, that is
yeah,
exactly what the vibe would be. But nowadays, they
true.
do get treated with a lot more respect, and I fucks with that.
I agree. Yep.
Even though Dynasty was a great show for AEW, including that ending to the main event with Swerve Strickland winning the title, and also according to many people, the greatest match in AEW history between Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson took place on that show. Yeah, everybody said that match was incredible.
Oh man, but it was a bad ending though. Oh my god. Oh, Daniel Bryson got hurt
Yeah, I
bad,
saw,
man.
I saw.
It was botched. But yeah, man, just thoughts and prayers with him, man. I'm just that
Yeah, but everyone said that was probably the best match in AEW history.
yeah, and I was hearing a lot of people were saying that there's that debate about which show was better, Dynasty or WrestleMania 40.
I didn't see Dynasty from start to finish. I can't say. It looked like it was good from what I did see of it. And Dave
Yeah.
Meltzer seems to have a lot of high praise for every single match. If you see his
Huh.
star ranking he gave for everything on there. But even if it was great, I don't think it topped WrestleMania, especially for the way WrestleMania ended. As great as Swerve Strickland winning was, I don't think that moment topped the way WrestleMania ended. Not at all.
True. And I had a coworker of mine who watched the show, and he told me that as much as the moment was good, he told me the match really wasn't as good. So I mean, that in itself kind of like told me everything. But regardless, I think you're right. I mean, I don't think it will you know go over or be better than what happened at WrestleMania 40. So
Yeah, but despite all of this, despite the fact that they have a new champion and Jack Perry made his return and closed out the show with him and the Bucks attacking Tony Khan, AEW Dynamite last week did their lowest rating in over 3 years,
jeez,
683,000.
man. And I mean, probably fan attendance was worse too, and I forget, and again, AEW is coming here later this month. I can't believe we're in the month of May already, but yeah, they're gonna have Dynamite and Double or Nothing here.
Yes, and one match that is official for Double or Nothing is going to be Willow Nightingale, who won the TBS championship at Dynasty against, in her very first match for AEW, Mercedes Moné.
Hmm.
1 year in the making, bro. Mercedes got injured the last time she wrestled a year ago in a match with Willow Nightingale in Japan. So now it's coming full circle.
Wow.
It's so crazy. Mercedes debuted with them almost 2 months ago, and she still hasn't wrestled yet.
Wow.
I mean, she might still be injured, so I'll give you that. But if she's not injured and they waited this long, that's kind of sketchy. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but despite some of the good parts of AEW they do have good parts, this like personal bullshit and political bullshit that Tony Khan's pulling is like really overshadowing it big time.
That's what I'm saying. Like it overshadows a lot of it. It kind of overshadows even Sir Strickland's road to becoming the champion. I mean, that's why I said that him winning the championship was like the lighter side of everything. So I don't know when they're ever gonna learn. God forbid if they go out of business, which I don't want to see that to happen. I want them to succeed, but not like this, man. Got to do better than that. So that's all we got to I don't know if you have anything more to say about AEW because we know on the flip side of WWE, we had a lot going on, and again, we have Backlash coming up this weekend.
Yeah, just to wrap up this whole talk about Tony Khan and what he's been doing lately, all I have to say is, bro, get a fucking grip on yourself. Way you're behaving and the shit you're saying is embarrassing and not what a true leader would do. It's behavior like this where you just say to yourself, no wonder why there's stories coming out that the inmates run the asylum in AEW and everything's such a mess and there's always all this chaos and drama and all that bullshit surrounding it. Yeah, bro, if you want to see why everything's in shambles and everything's all over the place, look no further than the leadership. And from the way Tony Khan's been behaving lately, he is not showing, from what I can see, good leadership. And if he wants AEW to succeed and if he wants them to continue to grow and progress, he needs to be a better leader. And one way he can go about being a better leader is by building thicker skin. Stop thinking so much about what WWE is saying, what WWE is bashing you about. Just focus on your own shit, focus on your own product, and good things will happen.
So now with that to the side, we will flip the script to WWE. And before we get into our prediction for Backlash, it is, you know what funny is, this is our prediction show for Backlash. But before we get into that, yeah, so much has happened, you know, in the week, past couple of weeks prior to leading up to Backlash. We did had so much going on both Raw and SmackDown, and we also had a WWE draft as well.
Yes, but before we did have the WWE draft, we did have a couple things go down on SmackDown and Raw the week before. As on SmackDown, AJ Styles did defeat LA Knight to become the number one contender for Cody Rhodes' WWE title. No surprise, I predicted that. And we'll get into our prediction for that match in a few minutes. And also we had the continuation of the Bloodline storyline where Tama Tonga basically rammed his rental car into Kevin Owens' rental car. And then they showed up like in the middle of SmackDown, like in the arena with like Kevin Owens all bloodied up. And him and Sola just beat the hell out of him and laid his ass out. Yeah, it was a mess, bro. Nick Aldis had to reprimand Paul Heyman and say that losing is not the only thing that has consequences and that he's going to hold him accountable for what happened. So yeah, this shit's been getting ugly with the whole Bloodline thing. I've been really liking where that's been going. And also the Bayley and Naomi women's title match was interrupted by Tiffany Stratton as she caused a disqualification and laid them both out with their moonsault. And that would lead to the announcement of there being a three-way between the three of them at Backlash, and we'll get into our prediction for that in a few minutes. But then over on Raw, we had the Battle Royal for the vacant Women's Championship, and it came down to Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, and it seemed like Liv Morgan was going to have some sort of advantage, but it was to no avail as Becky Lynch hit her with the man slam on the apron to eliminate her and win the vacant women's title. You would have thought Liv Morgan would have learned her lesson because this is the third Battle Royal like in the last year where it ended with her being on the apron. Not smart.
You know what was not smart? Is the decision that they made to have Becky Lynch to be the champion. Because look, here's
why? What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Dude, after what Liv Morgan did, you take out Rhea Ripley, put more heat on her by winning the title.
Bro, she's still going to get the title. It's not over. They're still going to be feuding. She just didn't get the title that night.
I don't know, man. I think it would have been just like you hurt Rhea Ripley, right? Insult to injury, you win the title after she had to vacate the title. That would have got so much heat on her. That's how I feel about it, man. I
feel like they're taking their time with this. I feel like they're going to do like a slow turn for Liv Morgan, kind of like what they did with Chad Gable, which we'll get into in a few minutes also.
I kind of felt like they've already turned her already.
Yeah, it's coming. It's going to happen at some point, but I don't mind them putting the belt on Becky because, for one, Becky hasn't been the champion in 2 years.
Isn't that long? Good God.
Yeah, the last time Becky was the champion was that match with Bianca at WrestleMania 2 years ago. That incredible match.
Jeez.
Yeah, she hasn't been
Yeah,
the
yeah.
women's champion since. So that's why I didn't mind it. Like, yeah, she hasn't been the women's champion in a while. Hell, she lost to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So people are calling her Becky Hogan and saying that she's burying everybody. She's being shoved down our throats. I'm like, bro, relax. Relax. The one thing you have to understand is that Rhea Ripley has had that championship for over a year and has been one of their top draws over the past year. And losing her, I guess they had the mentality of we have to put somebody in that spot to take her place who's as popular or if not more popular than her. And that only person on that Raw women's roster right now is Becky Lynch. So in that regard, I get it. I don't hate the move.
I don't know, man. I feel like if that would have not have happened, right? They had Liv Morgan to do all that. I would have been okay with it. But after what they did, I'm a firm believer of getting more heat on somebody, and that's just me personally how I feel about it. I don't know what they're gonna do afterwards though. But I mean, are they gonna do a few? Yeah. But look, I just really I want to see the belt on Liv Morgan. You got to put that heat on her, man. You have to. Like she already did
It,
damage by injuring Rhea Ripley, and because of that, she had to vacate the title. And again, you force somebody to vacate the title, and then now you're looking at the person win the title who you got hurt by. That should just like, oh my god. So we already know from the get go. Once Rhea Ripley comes back, she's going to feud with Liv Morgan. That we already know.
yeah, but I feel like it's still going to be a while until we get to that. And in the meantime, and I just look at it with the Liv Morgan heel turn. What's the rush? Just give them time, and I'm sure we'll develop into something that we'll be into. And she's already kind of fooling around with Dominic a little bit. We've seen them get caught together a few
Oh,
times.
I know. I saw that. I saw that. That's another one. I cannot believe I forgot to mention that. You hurt Rhea Ripley, and now you're kind of like trying to go after Dominic while Rhea Ripley's recuperating from her injury.
It looks like we're going to have a ladder match for custody of Dominic Part 2 this year at SummerSlam.
Yeah, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. I'm telling you, man. It's just if it's one word to describe this whole thing, what Liv Morgan's doing right now is diabolical. That's one word. You hurt Rhea Ripley. She vacates the title. You go out. You're trying to go after Dominic. You want eventually want to become the world's women's champion, which is the last step that she wants to do. It's kind of similar to what Randy Orton was trying to do to Triple H leading up to WrestleMania. You win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to take out the entire McMahon family and all that stuff. And now I want to win the title at Mania. That was kind of like a step-by-step process in a way. So
Yeah, I hear you, but we'll see where it goes. I don't mind Becky being the champion. Like I said, she hasn't been the champion for a while. She hasn't even held that belt for that matter. And plus, I even predicted for her to win at WrestleMania, so it's all good.
okay, we'll see what happens. So
And also, we had the development of the Chad Gable storyline after he turned on Sami Zayn several weeks ago. And then he came out to cut a promo. And during the promo, we had everybody from Alpha Academy lined up, and he bitched them all out.
yeesh.
Talked about how they suck, how they need to do better, and how he won't accept their mediocre bullshit. So yeah, Chad Gable is a full-fledged heel, but I am liking where he's going with this character though. I fucks with it.
Wow.
But I don't think we're getting the match with him and Sami Zayn just yet. I think they're probably gonna wait a while till we get the rematch between the two of them, because I feel like whenever they do the rematch, Chad Gable has to win.
Finally get the belt, huh?
Yeah, there's no logical way for that next match for them to happen other than for Chad Gable to beat him.
Hmm.
We'll see what happens with that. And I also heard that Kurt Angle would love to return and become his manager, which is what they should have done in the first place when they did that storyline back in the day where Jason Jordan was Kurt Angle's like long lost son. That bullshit from like 2017.
That was so weird. Don't get me started on that, man.
Chad Gable would have made more sense in that scenario than Jason Jordan.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you sent me I think you sent me a link about how I believe it was what year? It was like 17 through 2019 was just like a downtime for the company.
Oh yeah, it was trash, especially 2019. Yeah, some of that stuff when I go back and watch it now, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like when they had
Mhm.
Chad Gable be Shorty G. Thank God he survived that. He is definitely the walking
Ooh,
poster child for perseverance. Because if he could survive that and be where he is now, anything is possible.
that is true.
But I'm happy that bullshit regime is gone, but that's another story. We go to SmackDown Friday and we had the start of the WWE Draft. And honestly, they didn't really do a lot of major moves. Pretty much everybody's staying where they
Uh,
are now, with the exception on Friday, they moved Nia Jax to SmackDown and they moved Braun Breaker to Raw.
yeah, it was kind of like I don't know, man.
It was a waste, bro. Yeah, that whole
It
thing
is
was a waste. Nobody went anywhere.
exactly. It's not as appealing or as fun as it used to be, back then. Where you don't know who was going where. The person who was mainly on one show will go to another show. We didn't get that. So yeah, it was a waste of time. So it was whatever. I think the biggest thing outside of the Bloodline storyline, right? I think the biggest thing that has happened on SmackDown was when they revealed the new tag team titles for SmackDown.
Oh, yes, that
Oh
did
my
happen.
god,
That did
I
happen on
I
SmackDown
cannot
several weeks ago.
I I cannot get over how good looking those belts are. Oh my god. Just it literally is just a mesh between modern and the traditional original version of how it was during the late 80s and 90s. Loved it. Love the detail to those belts. My god, I absolutely love it. Whoever did the craftsmanship for that belt, the design for that belt, you deserve a raise and you deserve a round of applause for that. Love it.
Yeah, those belts look incredible. Those are the nicest tag belts I've seen in I don't know how long.
Oh my god. Honestly, I would. You know what? Look, I'm just gonna set it straight for the record. As of right now, those are the best looking belts right now.
And the whole company?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, that's fair.
yeah. That's. I'm sorry. I put that ahead of the World Heavyweight Championship belt. I get it. I love that belt too. But man, when you just Jesus, like look, Kurt, look closely at the details of that belt. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, those belts look great.
Dude, it makes me proud. Look, if I was a wrestler and I had a tag team, I'm literally like, oh my god, now I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna work harder, just as hard, just to win those belts. It makes it more meaningful, man.
Definitely. But on SmackDown this past week, we did have, yeah, the draft. There weren't a lot of really major moves, although Carmelo Hayes officially got drafted to SmackDown. And in his debut, he actually wrestled Cody Rhodes in the main event. Although he did not win, he put on a good performance. So, yeah, it's looking like he's going to have a bright
Oh,
future. Out of anything in SmackDown this past Friday, that was one of the highlights. And also, that happened. And Kevin Owens now has some backup with his feud with Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. And that backup came in the form of Randy Orton.
not surprised.
So that match has now become official for Backlash. We're going to be getting that tag match. So yes, we had the draft on Friday on SmackDown. It wasn't anything major. There were no major moves. And champions are all exempt from it also. So we're not going to have anybody switching shows who has a title. And also Roman Reigns was exempt from it too.
Right, exact. Yeah, that was another one that they brought up, but I forgot about.
And Jimmy Uso for that matter, who's apparently out with an injury.
Oh, because of Tama Tonga, right?
Jay Uso was actually recently talking about the fact that he was also kind of disappointed in the match with Jimmy at WrestleMania. Like he kind of felt like him and Jimmy let the fans down,
Uh,
and yeah, it didn't really come out the way
hmm,
they thought it
yeah.
would.
Well,
They kind
hey,
of were under a lot of time constraints. That was also a big part of it.
hey, you know what? Just him being honest, and hey, look, we could, the old saying, we could be our own worst critic, So hey, at least he's owning up to it and being honest about how he feels. So,
Yeah, at least he didn't have a meltdown like somebody like a dude from the NBA we know with the last name Durant would have.
oh Lord,
That's another story, though. But yes, we had Raw this past Monday. We had the continuation of the draft on Raw this past Monday from Kansas City. And the show started with Logan Paul arriving to the arena with Patrick Mahomes of the Super Bowl
Ooh.
champs Kansas City Chiefs. And then he was in the ring with Judgment Day later in the show. And I just said he should start a stable. Like Logan Paul should start a stable called Douchebag Fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a genius, bro. I'm a genius.
Stop. Oh, man.
They had a segment between Logan Paul and also Jey Uso. And then Judgment Day ended up getting involved and they all triple teamed Jey Uso. And then Logan Paul grabbed 3 of the Super Bowl rings from Patrick Mahomes' hand, put it on his hand in order to knock out Jey Uso with them. But he missed and hit JD McDonough with the Super Bowl rings instead.
That's why, because he used Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl rings. Fool.
No shit. Did you see JD McDonough's face afterwards?
No, I forgot. Oh.
But then as they were like looking at JD McDonough as he was down, Jey Uso was like standing behind them, like laughing at them and also laughing at JD McDonough saying, "You got knocked the fuck out." His best Chris Tucker impression. And they ended up continuing to attack him. But coming out to save Jey Uso was the returning Braun Strowman, who was officially drafted to Raw. Also, he came out and cleaned house and, yeah, saved the day for Jey Uso. And now he's back.
Nice. Surprising return from Braun Strowman. Wasn't I ever expecting him to come back at all, man. A complete afterthought for a while, man.
He had neck fusion surgery. That's why he's been gone for so long. Those neck issues keep you out for a long time.
Right.
Yes, but he is back and he's a part of Raw. And also on Raw, there weren't really that many major moves. We got more than we did on SmackDown, but not really anything like mind-blowing. We got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven moving to SmackDown and also DIY moving to SmackDown. Candice LeRae, obviously, and Indy Hartwell because Candice LeRae's married to Johnny Gargano, so they're also going to SmackDown. And then moving to Raw, we had all of LWO, including Carlito. And Carlito was revealed this past Friday on SmackDown from video footage to be the person who attacked Dragon Lee the day before WrestleMania. And LWO was like looking at this in the ring, and like Carlito was just like standing right behind him. And as they're like just staring at it and not even looking at Carlito like pushes Rey Mysterio into Dragon Lee and then just runs out of the ring. And now they're all drafted on Raw, so they're going to continue the storyline on there now.
Interesting.
Lyra Valkyria got drafted to Raw from NXT, and also drafted to Raw was Damage Control. All of Damage Control.
Wow.
So now the women's division on Raw will be a little more interesting. There'll be new people for, Becky to feud with, Liv Morgan to feud with, etc. And Nia Jax is now on SmackDown, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are now on SmackDown. I'm kind of bummed now because now Samantha Irvin can't announce her the same way anymore. Or Samantha Irvin can't announce her at all anymore.
Oh.
Yes. But we had an interesting match on Raw Monday between Gunther and Xavier Woods, and he tortured this dude, man. Gunther tortured this dude to death.
Didn't Gunther made a large announcement that night?
Well, it was the week before, actually. He announced that he's entering the King of the Ring tournament, did Xavier Woods.
Right.
And also, Giovanni Vinci has been kicked out of Imperium as Ludwig Kaiser attacked him after their loss on Raw last week.
Oh, man. Kind of sucks that fall them apart, man. Damn. All because this man it just imploded just because Gunther lost his title at Mania. Damn it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that one, but what are you going to do? Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser's actually dating Tiffany Stratton, and they actually had an interesting story about how they first got together. They had a bet, and the loser had to ask out the winner, and they've been together ever since.
Oh, that's good. It's a funny story though, but hey, everything happens for a reason. Oh, cute and funny at the same time. That's funny.
And Chad Gable was backstage, and he was kind of continuing to be on the case of everybody from Alpha Academy, laying into them, talking about how they suck and they need to do better. And as he was standing backstage at one point, Sami Zayn out of nowhere clocks him in the face with a haluva kick. I loved how they filmed that. They filmed that perfectly. And Sami Zayn actually had a title match on Raw Monday defending against Bronson Reed, who attacked him the week before on Raw. They had a match. It was going well, but it was interrupted by Chad Gable, causing a disqualification.
Well, I mean, they're going to be feuding pretty soon. So, I mean, hey, this is not a surprise. So, we'll wait and see what
Feuding pretty soon. They're feuding right
they're
now.
feuding now. I mean, I'm talking about for a match. That's what I meant to say.
And Bronson Reed actually got the last word in this segment as he hit Sammy with a tsunami after he was laid out by Chad Gable, and he also laid out Chad Gable too. So I'm having a feeling they might do a three-way, maybe not at Backlash, but probably maybe on Raw in the next week or two.
Yeah, you're right. No, because I'm looking at the next premium live event after this. It will be King and Queen of the Ring event in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, where the finals of the men's and women's King of the Ring tournaments will take place, and possibly that match too, but we'll see what happens. And also, Bronson Reed does not want fans sending fan mail to his house. If you're going to send him any fan mail at all, send it to WWE headquarters or the PC. He does not want to have that shit.
Oh yeah, a lot of mail coming in. Oh, I bet.
Nah, he doesn't want people sending like actual personal mail to his home, like his actual home address.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that happens to everybody else though.
It's possible, but yeah, he was like very adamant about that. He said, yeah, do not send any fan mail to my house.
I got you. That's good that they had the decision what to do with that though. So, but yeah.
And also throughout Raw, we had multiple segments with Drew McIntyre, John Randall's favorite wrestler.
Oh, you're my mortal enemy.
Actually, Drew McIntyre suffered a hyperextended elbow at WrestleMania that he's actually been dealing with the last few weeks ever since. Not legit, like no bullshit, legit.
I know, but still, but like,
And he actually's been
pulled.
pulled.
Talk shit about him, and you hurt yourself. But...
And he's recently been pulled from the house shows because of that.
And how long is he going to be gone, like, because of that?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure when he'll be like able to wrestle again. But yeah, as of now, he's not wrestling, but he could still be on TV, which he was on Monday on Raw when he interrupted the APA when they were announcing some of the draft picks. He interrupted them, and then he was running down about how he got screwed at WrestleMania and how he should have been drafted a lot earlier and before CM Punk was. And as he's going on his little rant, CM Punk's music hits, and then CM Punk isn't coming out from gorilla position. No. CM Punk is up in the skybox, far away from Drew McIntyre. Playing a little mind games and tell him what you're going to do about it, bitch.
Right. Oh, man, I cannot wait when these two start their... I mean, I know they're feuding, though, but like when they really just have that match and have that build-up, man, I cannot wait. You know it's coming soon, so...
And then Drew McIntyre went all the way up to that skybox to go find CM Punk. He was like running through people on the way over there. He even had like a brief run-in with Sheamus, who also he had a segment with the week before on Raw. We're probably going to be seeing that feud. And yeah, but then by the time he gets up to the skybox, CM Punk is nowhere to be found. And you know where CM Punk is? In the ring. Wow, son. I knew that was going to happen. But damn, was it funny.
Wow. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna get hot when these two when we really get into the thick of things. When there's gonna be a match made, hopefully by SummerSlam. Let's hope for that, man. But when that happens, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, Punk wasn't even wearing like a brace on his arm or anything. That's a good sign.
Okay.
He's probably not ready to come back to wrestle yet, but it's a sign that he's making good progress.
Exactly, man. That's good, So hey, I think we're May. It's the time. I think the timing is set for SummerSlam, and that is the good timing and a good pace to do things. So I'm all for it.
I could see it happening at SummerSlam. Maybe Drew will be the champion by that point, and it could be for the title.
We'll see. I don't know. That wasn't my first thought. I was just maybe just do one-on-one, but it is for the title. Hey, cool. But I'm just kind of like, let's see how Damian Priest does. You know what I mean? Let's just see how he's going to do right now. Let's be in the moment for him.
Yes, and I'm seeing cracks in Judgment Day between him and the rest of the members of it because he is
God,
not happy with the job they've been doing lately, and he has been not shy to let them know that either.
man. With Rhea Ripley gone too, it makes it worse.
Now he's the real leader of Judgment Day with her gone, so he has to kind of, I guess, step into a different role.
Oh yeah, that is true.
But back to Drew McIntyre real fast. Yeah, he was like pissed off obviously that he didn't find Punk, and then Punk was waiting in the ring for him. And then Punk basically said the difference between you and I is that you prayed for my injury to happen, but I made your injury happen.
Yeesh.
Oh, that was a cold line. Yeah, basically talking about how losers wish for things to happen, losers hope for things to happen, but winners make them happen.
Man.
You should have done a TikTok dance after what happened to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. That shit would have blown up. You could do it with your girlfriend.
Oh God. Oh boy.
But getting into other news with Drew McIntyre, it was revealed on The Rock's Instagram this past weekend that Drew McIntyre has re-signed with WWE.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the Instagram post, you could see Drew McIntyre out to dinner with his wife, and he's presented with a special sword.
That was good. Good thing on a rock.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like Drew McIntyre is locked in. No surprise. I wasn't expecting The Rock to post it, but I'm
Yeah.
not mad at it.
No, not at all. But good for him though. Good that is very good that he's resigned, especially with the run that he's doing right now. Hey, come on, like resign. So that was the right decision for him to do it. So
Yeah, so we'll be seeing Drew McIntyre for the next few years and possibly with another legit title reign very soon, too.
hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's been one of the best parts of Raw for like the last, like I would say, 6 months or so, give or take.
Yeah, because before that we didn't know what he was going to do. So, but now what he's been doing, I mean, is very obvious. Right choices to resign. So hey,
Yeah, he's been killing it with his character work, bro. He's been on point with it.
yeah,
But yes, from one person resigning to WWE to several people being released from WWE. Since we last spoke to you guys, we did have several people being released from WWE, and some of those major names included Jinder Mahal, which I did not see coming. Damn, I did not see that coming at all.
me neither, man. You know what's sad with that segment that he had with The Rock? But let me know a few months ago almost. You would think that this segment is gonna put him over, give him a little bit of a push, but they really didn't like ran with it afterwards, man. That's what I was kind of disappointed about.
Yeah, and also he had that match with Seth Rollins on Raw for the title the week
Yeah, yeah,
after, and then he was going back and forth on Twitter with Tony Khan, which is another red flag against Tony Khan, but we don't need to touch on that right now. So yeah, he seemed like he had like a little bit of momentum at the time, but apparently it wasn't enough.
they just didn't keep rolling with the momentum. Like that was momentum that he had to keep rolling, keep going, keep stirring that wheel, but they didn't. I don't know why. I felt bad for him, man, because anybody in that position will kill to be in that position, man. You could have a segment with The Rock, and then week after you're in a title match with Seth Rollins, and then in that position you're thinking like, oh great, what's the next big thing? And the sad part about that, you didn't really get anything. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I remember he got fired initially in 2014 when he was a part of the three-man band stable, and then he worked his way back in, got his physique together, got his life together, and like got rehired. And then 1 year later, he became WWE champion.
Yeah.
Look, I was not a fan of that move. I was not a fan of that title reign personally. Nothing against him, but just him as a character, I just couldn't buy in that role. But at least he got to say he was the WWE champion.
I love the redevelopment. I love the redevelopment of his character because because remember, it's more of a serious touch that he needed. It
No,
was serious, regardless if he didn't become champion or not. The character that he did, that modern day Maharaja, I was like, okay, this is something serious. This is
no, I'll
good.
give you that. I didn't mind the character change and also the entrance he had with the Singh brothers and the presentation. That was cool. He just
Yeah.
didn't need to be the WWE champion. He did not need to be the champion. He could have been the United States champion. He could have done a good mid-card feud. If they want to, make him a bigger deal, fine. But they did not need to rush, especially rush right away and make him the champion like that.
No, I get it. Well, I mean, it's in the past now, so I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
This is.
But regardless, I wish him the best though. He always seemed like a solid guy. I don't have anything personal against him. It was just a title reign I wasn't a fan of. But yeah, we wish him the best. Definitely unfortunate that he got let go.
Yeah.
Also, Zion Quinn got released. Also, Xia Li. That one kind of bummed me out. Xia Li, I feel like she never really got a proper chance. Yeah, they did all those vignettes with her on TV about her debuting, and then she had one match, and you never saw her again for 6 months.
Damn.
Yeah, it's sad, man. And also Sanga's gone. Veer Mahan is also gone.
Right.
Von Wagner. And this one bummed me out. This one really bummed me out. Cameron Grimes is gone too.
Really?
Cameron Grimes. Yes, Cameron Grimes is done.
Man.
Yeah, he was very upset too. He was very heartbroken by this to the point where he put up a post online afterwards in tears over the fact that he got released.
Man. He did that. I love he was on NXT and they did the whole story of Ted DiBiase. I thought that was just gold. Love that storyline.
Yeah, he was entertaining. Yeah, during that point, he was entertaining. Right. And I just said to myself, on the main roster, I think he'll do well. I think he'll make a good character on either Raw or SmackDown. But then when they called him up, they never really used him. And the times they would use him, they would have him lose. And they would never have him really do anything meaningful on the show. And he even said himself, he would talk to creative for weeks and pitch ideas and pitch, storylines he could be a part of. But just nothing ever came of it.
Man, and this is when Vince McMahon was in control, so... Oh man!
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Well, not necessarily. He got called up, I believe, when Triple H was when Triple H was more in control. And how Triple H has been in control for at least a year or so, even with that brief period when Vince came back aside. Triple H has been in control for the majority of that time. He's been on the main roster, but for whatever reason, just nothing ever came out of him.
Man.
And he even said a few days before that he talked to some of the higher ups in WWE and asked them if they liked what he was doing and if everything was okay, and he was assured by them that he would not get fired, that his job was safe, and a few days later he gets fired.
Man, that sucks, man.
Yeah, I really feel for the guy, man. Yeah, it's too bad. I feel like he definitely deserved a better chance than he got.
Right.
But yeah, we wish all these people got released the best of luck. Hope they land on their feet sooner than later, and keep your head up.
Same here, man. Now, with that out of the way, now ready to get into our prediction?
We're going to have Backlash this coming Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon from Lyon, France.
Yeah, I know, but it says Diciembre Pro.
I wonder if they're going to have a French ring announcer like Survivor Series 97.
Oh, my God. What if they... Oh, my God. Imagine. That would be cool if they did that.
It could happen. Actually, if you watch this Coliseum video called World Tour 1990 on the network, there's 2 matches from Paris that they have there with the Rockers against the Brainbusters and Hogan against Savage.
Really?
Which Hogan's talked about in stories before about a match in Paris with Savage where he apparently touched Elizabeth inappropriately and Savage got mad at him and Savage really tried to hurt him during the match.
Ooh.
I don't know how true that is. There's actually footage of the match. I guess you could see for yourself, but if it's coming from Hogan, take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And black pepper.
What?
And cumin.
I never heard of that before.
And paprika.
That's a lot of seasonings
and
right
cilantro.
there. That's a lot of seasonings. Boy, that's a lot. Jeez, okay.
And basil.
All right, Chef Kurt.
And poultry stock.
That's a lot.
The whole damn
taking it seriously. Good Lord. That means I should take it very seriously then.
That's what Hogan's bullshit's about, bro. It's such bullshit. You have to take it with as many herbs and spices as possible to swallow it.
Good God. You forgot the onion powder. You got the
All right.
garlic powder too. You forgot those all seasonings. You forgot there.
Cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. So yes, Backlash is this Saturday in France. First time we're having a PLE event in France, which is good for them, well deserved. And we have 5 matches on the card. I don't know, will there be any more because we still have a going home SmackDown this Friday. So I don't know what else was going to happen. But as of right now, we have 5 matches. So for our first match, we do have Cody Rhodes defending his undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles. This is a no-brainer. I want to see a great match. I believe this will be a good match. But come on, Cody Rhodes is just the freshly new champion. You know, Cody Rhodes is going to win this match. So without question. So
Yeah, Cody Rhodes literally just won the title at WrestleMania, and hell, he's on the fucking poster with the belt strapped on his back.
right.
It's going to be a fun match. I'm looking forward to it. I like the contract signing they had on SmackDown this past Friday, but this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes retains.
Absolutely. And on to another world title match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have the newly crowned champion, Damian Priest, versus Jey Uso. I am happy for Jey Uso to be, again, put in a spotlight again. Part of me was like, man, I want to see Jey Uso, to win this match. But look, man, just like with Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest is the freshly new champion. You know what I mean? You want to see how this goes because, dude, if Damian Priest lose, that means you really had no faith in him being a champion in the first place. You know what I mean? So you need to test this out, keep the ball rolling, and see how this thing is going to turn out. Damian Priest is going to retain the title.
I do think he retains also. I'm happy that Jey Uso is getting another title match at a major event.
Yeah.
I think he'll put a great performance on, but he's going down.
Yep.
It'll probably be a bunch of Judgment Day shenanigans more than likely, but regardless, Damian Priest is walking out with that championship. He's not dropping that title anytime soon. Earliest I could see him dropping that title is Clash of the Castle to McIntyre because it's going to be in Scotland.
Oh, that's right. And that will be what, June or July or
June 15th. June 15th.
Okay. Triple threat match for the women's championship. We have again the newly champion Bayley, who just won the title at WrestleMania. Well deserved for her. She'll be defending the title against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Just like with Cody Rhodes and just like with Damian Priest, look, man, keep this ball rolling when you're the new champion, man. Especially when you had just won the title at WrestleMania. This is your coming out party. This is your coming out. This is you trying to prove to everybody else of how well of a champion you could be. So I have Bayley retaining the title.
I have Bayley retaining also. I think this match is going to be a lot of fun. I think it could possibly be the show stealer of the night, but Bayley retains.
Okay.
And in a match where I do think the titles will change hands, we have the Kabuki Warriors defending the women's tag team titles against the female version of the Mega Powers, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
Wow. So is this foreshadowing that they're gonna end up breaking up later down the road, Kurt?
What do you think? What do you think? You think this buddy thing they have going on is gonna last forever?
Hell no, but the question is who's gonna turn on who though? That's the biggest question, Kurt. Ooh.
Look, it's great seeing them team up. It's great seeing match outfits and all that. They seem like they get along well, but realistically, the two of them against each other is a money match. That is going to be happening sooner or later.
Of course. I'm just curious of who's gonna turn on who. That's the biggest thing. Oh my God.
When it comes to the two of them, Jade Cargill is Hulk Hogan and Bianca Belair is Randy Savage.
Oh.
I compare Jade Cargill to Hogan because of her look and also in a sense maybe you could say like her maybe lack of wrestling skills, at least for now. And Bianca Belair I'll compare to Savage because of the colorful outfits that stand out for one and also the wrestling ability and athleticism for two.
Okay. That's an interesting take. We'll see what's going to happen. But as of right now, they are a tag team. And yes, they will be in a match with each other against Kabuki Warriors. for the women's tag team championships. I have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill winning.
Yes, they will be winning those tag team titles, and they are going to send the Kabuki Warriors back into Raw.
Right. And we have another tag team match. This will be between Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, a team of Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. You know what? I have the Bloodline winning.
No shit.
Okay, Kurt, calm down. Yeah, like I was gonna pick Randy Orton.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, you're saying no shit. Like, yeah, like no shit, Sherlock. Like, okay, damn.
It's another predictable outcome. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but like, here's the reason. You got to remember what's been going on. Like, the Bloodline's been newly reformed. Solo Sikoa is pretty much kind of like I'm taking over kind of deal, and I want to make a name for myself. And then with all this going on, you got Tama Tonga being the new guy in. This is a good way for him to get your foot in the door. Just a good way for you to expose yourself, get in a win. And also with this change, you know, Roman Reigns is gone. He's going to come back. And he's going to be like, what the hell's going on? That's what's going to happen.
But for now, he's hanging out at Disney World with his family, if you've seen the pictures recently.
Oh, really? Is he done filming?
Probably not. Yeah, he'll probably be filming for at least a month or so. But I saw like a picture of him like on like a private VIP tour of Disney recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he's not coming back anytime soon. He's going to be back the earliest SummerSlam.
Yeah. It's good time off. Yeah, he's going to come back. He's going to be like, okay, I've been gone for so many months and this has been going on behind my back. What's been going on? Solo, oh, so you the leader now? So, you know, I'm telling you, dude, this is what's going to happen. Oh, man.
Yeah, but just like most of the other matches on this show, admittedly, this match is also very predictable. And I do think Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa will win because it's a new version of the Bloodline. They need to build momentum. They need to build some heat on themselves. And I do think we might see the debut of Jacob Fatu during this match because
true. Oh, yes.
As it's been noted,
yes. They signed him.
Yes, they did sign him recently, and he was rumored to even debut on SmackDown last week, but it did not happen. So I'm seeing it happen at the show on Saturday.
True, yeah, man. I've seen highlights of this guy, and dude, that dude looks intimidating, man. Just a monstrous presence that this guy has, man.
Tama Tonga too. He's Haku's son.
I know, but I look at Jacob Fatu's his matches. I've seen clips of his matches, man. Guy's brutal. Ooh, holy crap!
You know, Haku was only one of two people that Andre the Giant was afraid of.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Yeah, the only two people Andre the Giant was afraid of were Haku and Harley Race.
Wow.
But yes, I do see the Bloodline winning. This is just a match for them to build more momentum and build more heat, and they are going to do that in a major way at this show. But I've liked this storyline so far. I'm going to like to see how it continues going on, but that continuation goes through Randy Orton and Kevin Owens this Saturday.
Gotcha.
So yes, that is the Backlash card for this Saturday. It should be a solid show. I guess Triple H is really taking this less is more thing seriously with the matches.
Yeah, what's the old saying? Quality over quantity?
Quality over quantity. I say that all the time. I always say that all the time. I would rather have a quality in most cases, whether it comes to dating, whether it comes to food, whether it comes to, anything. Yeah, pretty much when it comes to anything in life, I always maintain quality over quantity.
Amen. Same here.
I'd rather have 5 close friends than 10 whatever friends, and I'd rather have 1 good girl than 10 average girls.
Ain't that the truth?
But let's send our best wishes to Darby Allin, as this past weekend in New York, he actually got hit by a bus.
What? How'd that happen?
He was walking across the street, I believe he was, and he ended up getting hit by a bus.
Man. Oh, I got prayers to him, dude.
He seems like he's doing okay, though. I heard he went to a Broadway show even afterwards.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Dude got hit by a bus, and he still went to a Broadway show. I hope the show was good.
You know what's funny? Before we go, so I urge you, Kurt, to watch that documentary on Batman.
I will. I actually started watching the documentary about TLC on Netflix too.
Yeah. Do you know? Remember in the first Batman movie when they went up to the up to the church to the cathedral, right?
Yeah, of course.
So they got inspiration from that. So Jack Nicholson and one of the producers of the movie, they went to a the Phantom of the Opera show while they're during filming because they remember they filmed in London, right? So they had went to a show, and then one of the endings from that play was ended like in the cathedral or whatever. And then Jack was like, "Hey, we need to do something similar like that." So that's where they got the inspiration from.
Oh, that's what's up. That's some
Yeah,
cool ass shit, man.
yeah. And another crazy thing I did not know. So the actress who played as Lieutenant Einhorn in Ace Ventura.
I don't know the actress's name, but I do know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, she was originally supposed to play Vicky Vale.
Yeah, and I also heard she was supposed to play Catwoman in the Batman Returns sequel. I heard that too.
She was trying to literally get her foot in the door, but they weren't having her. Like, no.
She was on a crusade, I heard, for years to be Catwoman. Like for years, she would always, come to appearances and come to like talk shows, like dressed as Catwoman.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was like really on that shit.
she was supposed to play Vicky Vale, right? There was a scene when her and Bruce Wayne are supposed to do a horse riding scene, right? So while during filming, they're practicing doing a horse riding. Apparently, she fell and hurt herself.
Hmm.
So they couldn't I mean, she was going to be gone for a while. They really had to think from the hip, like we don't know what to do. So they replaced her. That's when they brought in Kim Basinger.
Damn.
Yeah,
I thought the actress who played Lois Einhorn in Ace Ventura, I thought she was attractive, but the one thing I noticed in that movie, she was a bad kisser. Bad, bad, bad kisser.
really.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like even with me when it comes to women, that is a major red flag with me. No matter how hot a woman is or attractive a woman is, if she's a bad kisser, it's a huge red flag for me. Yeah, that's just a huge turn off. There's like really pretty women I've been with before, and then when I kissed them and I saw that they weren't good kissers, it fucking was the biggest letdown.
Wow.
It's like going to WrestleMania and WrestleMania ends up being like WrestleMania 9.
Ugh. Hey, we still. Oh my God, that reminds me. It's May. All right, clock is ticking, man. We're still waiting for. I'm just waiting for them to make the announcement already. Come on,
It's not official, but it's looking more than likely it's going to be Vegas.
let's hope. Let's hope.
But before we get out of here, The Rock is actually going to be producing a docu-series about who killed WCW that's going to be dropping on Vice on June 4th.
Ooh,
That should be interesting.
very, very
Kind of
interesting.
like a murder mystery type thing. I can see that kind of
Yeah.
vibe coming from it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be checking for that. And there was like a bunch of rumors going around that The Rock has been like showing up late to his like movie that he's filming right now. Like he's been showing up like 7, 8 hours late, and that he was showing up late to rehearsals for WrestleMania. Yeah, like a bunch of that shit's been like floating around the last few days.
Hmm. Well.
But then somebody from WWE kind of like detract all that, saying how like The Rock was on time for rehearsals. Actually, no, he even said The Rock was early for rehearsals for WrestleMania, and he was very good to work with, very easy to work with, and all that jazz. Yeah, it's kind of weird that The Rock's kind of like Hollywood reputation has been taking a hit in recent years. I guess ever since the Black Adam thing, and also like the Fast and Furious issues I heard of too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess maybe some of it is kind of exaggerated.
Pretty much.
And Kevin Nash was recently opening up about the fact how The Rock wouldn't have gotten as big as he did had Stone Cold Steve Austin not gotten hurt.
That is, I to a degree, I kind of
There's
give
some truth to that. There is
some
some truth to
truth
that. I
to
get it.
that. If Austin did not get hurt, Rock wouldn't not have had that stardom that he did if Austin would not have gotten hurt. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying The Rock would have never been, popular and all that stuff, but you got to remember, like Austin was gone, Rock pretty much filled in, and he literally took advantage of it, and look what's happened. But again, I I'd pick Austin over Rock. So
I'll say this: The Rock was already popular before Austin got hurt.
yeah,
He was still huge. He was still, like kind of almost tied with Austin for being the face of the company. But then when
yeah,
Austin did get hurt, that's when The Rock like really blew up. Like that's the period of time where The Rock really became like the mainstream star that he pretty much is now. Like the start of all
yeah,
that was like that one year when Austin was gone. That's like when he really, really became
yeah,
the guy.
yeah.
Would he have become that had Austin not gotten hurt? I don't know. I can't say, but like he
Who
ran with that
knows?
opportunity, he ran with that
Yeah,
spot, and WWE benefited very well from it. And also another person who kind of like filled that void of Austin being gone, but in a different way, Triple H. You got to
Triple
throw him
H.
into that conversation too.
Hmm.
Those were the two dudes who carried the company on their backs in that one year Austin was gone. It was both of them. A lot of other people helped too, but they were the main two.
I agree.
Before we get out of here, Gunther was recently opening up about how the old regime of WWE was compared to what the new one is like now. And this is what the Ring General had to say. The WWE product before Triple H was not what I enjoyed. I just didn't want to be a part of that. With Triple H, he always had a vision for me. I got lucky that a lot of things in my career took place at the right time. Another person confirming how much better WWE is now with Triple H in charge. Another one.
Look, I mean, we're seeing the change right now, and I, even as a fan, we all see the growth in that change. And one of the things I've been seeing within the company was real quick is that it's a lot of it's getting better and more attention than it has ever. I haven't seen this attention like this in a long time, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Yeah, with how big WrestleMania was this year and all the records it broke, WrestleMania made $38.5 million across both nights.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just a lot of, and just how hot the product is right now and how great the product is right now. It would not be that way if the old regime was still in charge.
no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Like again, just like that link you sent me, like that those was 2017 through 2019 years, man. I just like I look back at those years. It's kind of like it's those years where I just like, man, I don't want to rewatch anything from those years. And I'm being quite honest with you. You know what I mean? It's just kind of I look back at that stuff and it's kind of it cringe at it sometimes. You know?
Yeah, it's all that bullshit that was going on back then that just makes you happy with the way things are now and happy that Triple H is in charge and that old regime and that old specific person who was in charge of that regime is long gone and they are not missed.
Right.
Yeah, and even Bubba Ray confirmed it because Bubba Ray was at WrestleMania recently and also on Raw for the draft. He said it's a whole different vibe with Triple H in charge. It's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more chill. People are much happier to be there. More of like a team effort. Yeah, like it feels like WWE is like the place everybody wants to go work now. Hell, I want to go work there now too.
Right. You know, I feel comfortable to work there now. You're
Yeah.
right.
I'm not saying it's my first choice for a job, but if I had the opportunity to work there, like as a podcaster or like a part of their YouTube channel, I would run to it. I would run to it in a heartbeat.
I feel you.
Yeah, bro. But I think we've said what we needed to say tonight. I'm going to get into some of these NBA playoffs and also AEW Dynamite. And yeah, looking forward to Backlash this weekend.
Same here. I'm gonna go back watch my Stanley Cup playoffs, and I can't wait for Backlash in France. I can't wait for that, and I hope all you guys enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself this weekend and on Saturday watching the show.
Yes, and that crowd in France this weekend has a tough act to follow from that crowd at Puerto Rico last year.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm confident they'll do good. I think European crowds they hold up well. So
Oh no, they're great. They're great. But I'm just saying, compared to that audience from Puerto Rico last year, it's going to be interesting to see if they can top them.
true.
All right, but until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, don't be an asshole in real life or social media because that shit, all of it, is for the birds. Have a good one, guys.